others will die. I Shouldn't Be Alive. All new Friday at 9. Only on Animal Planet.
This program contains material that may be disturbing
Matt,
to
don't
some
worry.
viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. A firestorm lights up the Montana sky.
It's getting unreal. I have never seen such a thing in my entire life.
Flames are everywhere, and there's no way out for brothers Ron and Bob Michelson and their horses Waco and Bodine.
There's only one road in and one road out, and the fire was coming up the road.
Hey, those are live rounds going off, guys.
The Michelson brothers know they're trapped, but they want to give their beloved horses a fighting chance.
Worst comes to worst, let them go.
And that's what they're forced to do when the red-hot flames start to blister their skin. The terrified horses are set free and bolt.
Stay clear, everybody.
I don't think they had much choice. I think they were in a really bad situation.
Equine behaviorist Jennifer Williams says the brothers did exactly the right thing.
A lot of professionals agree that if you're in a situation where you can't get the horse out for whatever reason, to let them go, and that at least gives them a chance for fending for themselves.
Horses are born with a fight or flight instinct. Their first response to a threat is usually to flee. And when they take flight, look out.
The horses, they have this drive to survive, and it drives most of what they do. The instincts kick in, and they take care of themselves.
That's what Ron and Bob were praying for. But in this raging forest fire, they don't even know if they'll survive.
Okay, here it comes. Okay, you gotta sign off now.
After letting the horses loose, the brothers turn off the video camera and duck for cover.
We let the horses go, and we went down and rolled in the creek just to get as wet as we could, because that was our only means of survival.
The unforgiving fire passes, and when Ron turns his video camera back on, thick smoke and ash snuff out almost all hope. There is not one living thing in sight.
Here we are. Made it through the fire. Neither was left to the vehicle.
How did that happen?
Never have I ever been through anything like this before.
We got everybody together that was still there, and we got inside of a bus just to get warm and put dry clothes on. And then we start talking about our animals, wondering if they had made it or if we were going to see them again.
It's 3 a.m. 8 torturous hours have passed since they last saw their horses. Suddenly, Ron hears a familiar sound.
I thought I heard a whinny outside, and about 10 minutes later we heard it again. All of a sudden we had two horses come right up and put their nose right in our chest. Those were our horses that had come back.
When they come through that gate, it brought a smile to your face. They had enough sense to come back where we were.
We were ecstatic. We were overjoyed. I honestly didn't think they'd be back that night. To be honest, I didn't think I'd see them again.
Waco and Bodine had come back to them, but in the morning light, it's clear the horses didn't escape the fire completely unscathed.
Well, reference. You can see the tail, mane, legs, everything on your side. Waco's okay, just legs get sunk a little bit.
One of them got singed real bad, but they were both still alive, and we were just wishing we had a camera on the back of them to see what they had gone through.
The humans and the horses were very lucky. The horses have great survival instincts, but I'm still surprised considering they were surrounded by fire that they survived.
Ron thinks the reason his horses lived is because they headed east, up and over a 500-foot ridge to another area, with large clearings where the horses would have been relatively safe from the fire. Terrain Waco was familiar with, since he'd been coming to the game range for the past 9 years.
We figured the younger horse who got singed quite bad, all she did was follow the older one, and they just knew where to come back to, and thank goodness we were still there.
Luckily, Waco and Bodine recovered quickly. To this day, Ron is still stunned the horses made it out alive.
I'm totally amazed. We must have taken care of him or did something for him to come back.
Deadly split second, a fox takes a vicious bite and becomes a killer on the loose. And now Gary Kemp's family fears for his life.
Gary's a very tough guy, and he can usually take care of himself, but that's one time where I've seen him really scared and upset.
The sneak attack is caught on tape by Gary and his wife Terry's home surveillance camera in upstate New York.
It was really quick. It came out like lightning and just started attacking him and kind of spun him around, and, you know, kept hitting it and hitting it.
Gary is ambushed as he carries groceries from his car. He never sees the fox, lurking in his driveway until it pounces, sinks his teeth into his leg, and bites to the bone.
Was making this noise as it was coming towards him and just latched onto his leg.
Gary whacks away with the only weapon he has, a loaf of bread.
He ended up hitting it with the loaf of bread he had in his hand, and the bread popped open and spilled all over the road, and then it ran off.
Why the fox attacks is a mystery, until neighbor David Raymond notices something terrifying, something deadly. The fox is foaming at the mouth. David, who grew up on a farm, is sure the fox has rabies.
Was walking kind of like in circles and saliva hanging from his mouth, so I knew it was rabbit right away. I see rabid animals in the pack.
The deadly rabies virus causes animals to act vicious and charged up, or confused and weak. Occasionally, animals usually seen only at night, like the gray fox, may be out during the day. Aside from foaming at the mouth, they also make odd noises and show no fear of people.
He was suffering and in pain.
Gary has deep puncture wounds on his leg. The virus could be ticking inside him like a time bomb.
You could see that there were bite marks.
Up next, does the fox have rabies?
It's too late to do anything about it.
And later, terror in the air. Baby bald eagles ripped from their nests, and there is no way to stop it. It's all caught on tape on Untamed and Uncut.